Okay, so 1/6 is dividing integers. It's the opposite of multiplying, so I think we're good on dividing. So quotient. Quotient, that's the word, right, that tells us we're dividing. That's the math word. The quotient of two integers with different signs is negative. So the product was also negative when they were different. So is the quotient. So it's easy to remember because the rule doesn't really change. You get one negative, one positive, you're going to get a negative. Okay? Whether you multiply or divide. Easy rule to remember. Here's some examples for you. So you can write them. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Or you can write them as a fraction, right? So negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. That's example 1. Just two different ways to write the same problem, right? Example 2, you might see it this way with parentheses as well. 12 divided by negative 2, still negative 6. Or you could have the negative 2 on the bottom in the denominator. It's still negative 6. So there's this test question that comes up every year. And I know it's on your test this year. So you should probably listen when I say I know it's on your test this year. And it's a question where it shows you fractions with negatives. And it asks you if they're all the same. So let me give you an example. I'm going to write it on here, okay? So if you know negative 12 over 2 is negative 6, and 12 over negative 2 is negative 6, are these the same? Whether you put the negative on the top or the bottom, did you still get the same answer? So they're the same. Or they can even put the negative in between, like this. Have you seen it like that? That is also the same. Okay? That still equals a negative 6. So 3 different ways to write your negative in your fraction, and it's still the same thing. That is definitely a test question. So maybe put a star there, just to remind you. Doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom or in the middle. It's still the negative 6. Okay. The second part of this is similar to multiplying. So the quotient of two integers with the same sign is positive. Remember that negative times a negative is positive, so negative divided by a negative is also a positive. There's a couple examples. The quotient of two integers with the same sign is positive. 20 divided by 4 is 5, same sign. 20 divided by 4 is 5, same sign. I'm going to put the negatives in there using the same numbers just so you can see it's still the same. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
How is negative 20 over negative 4 equal 5?
So it's the same thing as this, right?
Yeah.
Negative divided by negative is a positive. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Still a positive. So when you heard in elementary school, they'd say, oh, those double negatives cancel each other out. Remember that? That's where it's coming from, okay? A double negative makes a positive. So it's the same rule for multiplying as it is dividing, right? Doesn't change. Other questions? Okay, the practice for this one, and I will put up the homework as well. Yeah, question?
I'm confused a little bit on the points. How is it still positive when it's negative 20 and negative 4, and then it's positive 5, but up there it's just 20 and 4.
Okay, so these are the same sign, right? Same sign. So these are both positive, so you're going to get a positive. These are both negative, so you're going to get a positive. Same sign makes a positive. Same sign. Different signs makes a negative. Yeah.
Go up to the first example too.
The first example too, that's where you are? Okay. Okay, so your practice is here. Your homework is also written down here. I'll move it up in just a second. But the practice is 246 and 247. If you finish the practice before you go over it, of course, start the homework. Can I move it? Okay. All right, so your homework is, I think, something like 18 problems or something like that. I know. Still less than 20. Okay, so 246, 247, 239, and 249 are the homework.